Nicely done.
I'm glad. I like that you got involved.
War. Huh. Good God, y'all. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, there it is. God, that was throaty and delicious.
Is it showing live on your end? I don't even know.
It is. We're live.
That's a good thought. It's good. Good start. Going live on mine. So there's that.
Good start.
Fantastic.
Who's in control of this show? My granddad?
I don't know what's happening. God, we're getting a bunch of chuckles.
I said, whoa. Huh. Good God, Joe. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Sing it to me.
I said, what? Woo! Makes me want to dance.
Makes you want to dance?
Just dance. Just for a minute, just to see how it feels.
All right, gentlemen. I love that you're singing. We're getting the party started. We're getting ready for Biscuits and Gravy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Ken Paul, I can tell, is backstage adjusting his look, making sure he's fresh and ready for his fashion expert opinion on war movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Everybody's getting excited. And we, for people joining just now, we are going to be giving away a bunch of free stuff, $5 Venmos, to people that play our movie trivia. So stay tuned. See that little scroll that says show starts in less than 2 minutes? That is not accurate. It's actually about 1 minute. We'll be starting sooner than that. We'll be getting it kicked off. Get ready to play. Get your trivia ready. Get your Google fingers ready because we want to give away $5 from hashtag Be The Change. So we're getting ready. We're getting ready to party. Party is about to start.
I like that your helmet really sits high on your head. It makes it look like you have a large noggin, which is accurate.
I figured that would be how KP Smitty would wear his. So again, we're about to start our episode with Major Biscuits and Colonel Gravy with special guest Lieutenant Schroyer and Rear Admiral Smitty.
It's time for Biscuits and Gravy Talk Movies and Other Stuff, starring Chad Fishburne as Biscuits and Anthony Russo as Gravy. Look at that mustache. We brought our friends along. Matt Schroyer is our beer expert, and last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, our fashionista, Ken Paul Smith. Ladies and gents, enjoy the show. And if you don't, you can suck it.
Well, that is correct. So I added a little Chad flair at the end for the you can suck it if you don't like the show. And, of course, I figured nothing better to call KP Smitty than our lovely fashionista.
Right.
So, ladies and gents, this is Biscuits and Gravy. My name is Anthony Michael Russo. I know these characters alongside of me in this episode, which is the same people every episode. Fortunately for everybody watching out there, it's quite fantastic. So what we do here is we give away money from hashtag Be The Change, which is the company that I started, which is all about giving your actions instead of just awareness. We like to keep people active in terms of making the world a better place around them. And that's what we're giving away money for, is participating in this episode. And then we've got my co-host, Mr. Biscuits.
Hello. I am Biscuits, also known as Chad Fishburne. I'm a comedian and host. And on this war movie episode of Biscuits and Gravy, talk random stuff, I want to give a quick shout out to our troops. Thank you so much to our troops, our first responders, and of course, our medical professionals. So thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun today.
Kenny P.
Hi, everybody. Coming to you from deep underground Chicago. Excited about this episode. Good to see everybody as usual. Going to also give a personal shout out. My father and his father, both decorated war veterans, World War II and World War I, respectfully. And I'll tell you more details later, but a workday Navy outfit in honor of my pop.
Troy Boy.
Hello, greetings from Portland, Oregon. Matt Schroyer reporting live. I guess we are live. I can never remember who's Biscuits and who's Gravy, so I appreciate the new opening credits. And like Kenny, my dad didn't serve, but both of my grandfathers did. And so always cool to talk about the military. We should have done this on Veterans Day, but we didn't think about that. So we're going to talk war movies today, their impact on popular culture, and some tunes to watch, or some movies to watch while you're in quarantine and team.
He's got music on the mind, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
Quarantine.
So we do have military members in the family. We've got Ken Paul Smitty he sounded like Lieutenant Dan, my father, my grandfather. They all served. And then We've
Not
got
me.
Chad. Chad had a member that served. My father,
My dad.
served ish. He was with the Rockefellers, and he got sent to Paris, France, to serve in Vietnam, where he gained 60 pounds and came back with a French wife that may have been a streetwalker. That's a totally different story for another day, and a very true one, all at the same time.
I want to hear that.
My dad
story.
was in Vietnam as well, and he did not gain 60 pounds. He also did not come back with a French wife.
No, well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic. All right, so what we do on this show, we're going to always get it kicked off with giving away $5 to somebody's Venmo from hashtag #BeTheChange, which is pretty exciting. So this is how it's going to work. If you're watching on a watch party right now, I need you to join us over on our Work From Home Network Facebook page, because that's where we see all the comments. So if you want to play, you got to be on that page. So our first one is going to be a acted out scene by Chad Fishburne and Matt Troyer. So please be ready. First person to put it in the comment box below is going to be the winner of that $5 Venmo. So let's get ready. I'm going to go ahead and pull Kenny off the screen. It's going to be a 2-man shot. Very exciting. Gentlemen, are you ready for your scene?
Ready.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir is right. That's what I'm talking about. Ready?
Yes.
And action.
How tall are you, Private?
Sir, 5'9", sir.
5'9". I didn't realize they stack shit that high. And scene.
What do we need? The name of the movie?
Name of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Name it. Movie. First person to say the name of the movie. Who's going to be the winner of our first $5 of the day?
This may be on my list. It might be.
I think it is. Can't remember.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right along with trivia.
$5.
First one. We've got plenty of people watching. Are you guys Venmoing the scene right now? Sweet Mother Mary. Oh, we got a comment coming in.
There it is.
There it is.
Is that a winner chicken? Ding!
Oh,
there it is. Thank you.
Aaron T in the house. Aaron
And
T
Aaron,
wins.
who's also a veteran. So thank you to you, my friend. Appreciate you, Aaron.
Aaron Throckmorton, you are the winner of our first Venmo. Go ahead and share your Venmo on there. And again, thank you for your service. Aaron, I had a feeling that you'd be watching on this one, so I want to give you a personal shout out. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Throckmorton, our first winner of the day. Matt Miller was a little bit late to the party. He was actually just saying part of the line of the movie, which was actually, in fact, a movie that Ken Paul has been in, but it was an adult male-only cast. It was very weird.
Ouch. That one stings just a skosh.
Just a bit. All right. So since Ken Paul, again, Aaron Throckmorton, go ahead and send me your Venmo. No. So Aaron, so here's the deal with the donations. So you cannot donate it back to Be the Change. In fact, what it is, we give it to you, you pay it forward, because part of Be the Change is taking action. So if you want to take that $5 and give it to somebody on the street, that is your paying it forward. So you're getting it whether you like it or not.
Just so you know, I can smell what the Throck is cooking.
That was good, Chad. Well played, sir. Well played. All right, so what we're going to get started, aside from our first game and our first contest, which we are going to have at least 3 or 4 of those throughout the episode, is we've got Ken Paul Smitty. He is our official fashion expert or fashionista. He's going to go ahead and show us what he's wearing for this episode of War Movie Trivia.
Well, as Matt pointed out, and this could be sad, with the few shows that we've already done, it seems there are more costume-based clothes in my closet than there are regular clothes. But someday I will end up with nothing to wear, but this was pretty simple. You guys asked earlier what this was. More of an everyday look in a lot of Navy films, whether they're in and out of the office or they're not on the ship, but they're on land. Typical khaki on khaki with a tie and your insignia, which is Lieutenant Commander for me, with the maple leaves today, actual World War II pieces, and you don't wear your medals. So that's what we got on today. Are you surprised, Matt?
Who has that in their closet and can explain it that well?
Annapolis
You're a
coffee
unique
cup.
individual.
Annapolis Coffee Cup, the Naval Academy.
God,
It's
it's
amazing.
He plays in this house.
too
You can
good.
put on full productions.
Are you wearing match or pants? Do the pants go with the outfit as well, Ken?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I ride traditional military khaki, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
make
my
sure to
God.
check that weapon at the door. Okay, so Ken, what else did I got for you? What have you been watching right now? First off, because again,
well, I did watch a couple of the war films that we're reviewing, but I'll save that for my list. Also sneaking in, still keeping up, and almost done with my Downton Abbey, and my bad habit on the phone has grown into a second bad habit. I now have 2 games that I've downloaded as apps that I probably am the wrong demographic for, but they kept showing it on TV. So I'm on June's Journey, solving a murder in the 1920s. I've now also downloaded a fun little fishy app where I help fish escape from sharks. But I'm going to show you the beautiful estate I've been building in June's Journey.
Let's see it.
How about that? I've been building that entire estate all this time.
Wow.
You're a grown-ass man. Can you stop playing games?
I want to see if I can do the whole 60 days and have nothing productive accomplished at the end of it.
I'm kidding. I love video games.
Yeah, and I think the productive thing is the fact that you've learned how wide of options your closet is. So, with that, KP, it's time for you to go ahead, and we're going to pull up your movies. Let me see where it is.
Yes.
You said what your title was, but technically, if you didn't remember, it's actually Rear Admiral KP Smitty. And here is your list of movies. Fantastic war movie choice.
Okay, nice. You know, they're so good, I've forgotten about some of those.
Major Pain.
That.
Major Pain on the list. I like it.
That's good. I like it.
I'm surprised you had G.I. Jane so high up on the list, KP.
Well, you know where I stand with making sure women do all the hard work. I'm in favor of it. So why not? Why not get shot? I'm okay with that. No, that's not my list. That's our goof list. Where's my list, Anthony?
All right, KP, here is your list.
That's it. Starting with number 4. I chose The Longest Day. It is hard to pick the old classics when the new ones are so technologically amazing, but the old war films are still incredibly moving. Longest Day is a combination of a star-studded effort, a slightly less tragic look at Normandy D-Day, and a really nice piece of American propaganda. It's always okay to brag and make the opponents look a little stupid and shallow when they are pure evil, which is exactly what they did in this film. So we always see the Americans working hard, simple, taking care of each other. Every time we see the Germans, they're breaking into another mansion in France or going to the theater, they're shopping for their wives. They make them very shallow and boobalicious, which is great because the Americans survived this brilliantly, and great cameos by some young stars. Anyhow, a great old film worth watching. Platoon. Hard not to put this on the list. When I saw this, the impact that had and how much realism, that was kind of a groundbreaking thing. They were showing a lot more of the true grittiness about this period in war films, and it really, really hits home. Cannot forget some of those scenes. Just fantastic performances. And it reminds you that Charlie Sheen is a phenomenal actor as well as comedian and goofball. Then I might have gone out of order in there, Great Escape. Incredible story about bringing different men together from different military situations, and they are in a concentration camp. And it is all about not quitting. It's about doing something even when you're penned in, which has a little something to do with what we're living in right now. It's a great star-studded epic of not taking your situation for granted, but doing something about it. And the impact it had on everybody, Saving Private Ryan, is it's an epic. It is incredibly moving. It's motivational. I'm lucky enough to know somebody who was in it, the general at the very beginning that gives the speech, go out there and bring them back, period. That is Harve Presnell, a celebrated Broadway star whose later career was TV and film. And I got to work with him for a short while. Great guy. Private Ryan is hard to knock off the top of the list. That's my movies. And there's 98 more I wanted to pick.
Yeah, so that is one fun fact. How many movies were you at last night before you finally got it down to the top 4 war movies? Because this is an incredibly difficult category to find our top 4 or 5.
First list was 25, and I didn't want to take any off of there. I mean, I just made the joke earlier to you guys. How do you take Patton off the list that won 7 Oscars, and George C. Scott might have been the greatest American actor of his generation? The list is incredible. They're all good.
Why do you know? And I actually don't. I just saw it in passing. Why did he not accept his Academy Award for that movie? I just saw that. Do you have any idea? Because I actually don't.
I don't remember the story. Normally I would. I do not remember it.
You've got
anti-war.
What's that? Maybe it's anti-war, but you got homework while we're going through Troyer's movies. If you can find that out, because I saw it, but I didn't see the reason why. So putting the glasses on, he means business.
Getting it done.
So with that said, it's time for our next trivia. We like to get started nice and early, hit them hard with 2 free stuff thingamajiggers from #BeTheChange. Yeah, that's the official term, is a thingamajigger. So if you are wanting to play along and you want to be the fastest fingers in the West, remember you can use Google, but be quick. First person to put their answer in the chat box below the comment box is going to win $5 Venmos, courtesy of #BeTheChange. And as a reminder, if you don't want the $5 and you want to give it back to Be the Change, you cannot do that. That's not part of the rules. This is all about
no give backs.
Spreading the love, no give backs. So you get to choose what you do with your $5, whether it's give it to somebody on the street, give it to a first responder, give it to somebody bagging your groceries. It's on the front lines of making sure you can get your food. That's what you get to do with it. So, okay. I'm going to give the next one. And this might help if somebody was listening. If somebody was listening to the last set of movies. So here is
if somebody was listening to me?
Yeah, I know. Shocking. The 1962 war drama, The Longest Day, was about what military operation? Which military operation?
Ooh, you got some leeway here.
True.
Type quickly.
Saul,
if you're there, type faster. Matt Miller noted Ken and I have switched boxes. We apologize. We'll go back to our normal boxes next week.
Yeah.
I was a bit thrown. I was.
Yep. Sometimes you got to be top. Sometimes you got to be bottom. Anyways,
Dino Rotundo just answered D-Day.
Yeah. D-Train. He actually had a great comment earlier. The Longest Day. Kai is very quick to repeat the actual name of the movie. We've got D-Day. So, Dino, you are the winner of this $5 Venmo. Go ahead and shoot me your Venmo information. That's right. He's got it. He's got the little ding, meaning you are correct. This is a funny comment from Dino. Do you come with the card, gentlemen? Well played. Okay, so we got a bunch coming in. We got Normandy. I would have counted that as well. D-Day, some D-Days. Kai, again, thank you for the assist on repeating what the name of the movie is. She just figured out that she got it. And Lisa is listening if anybody's wondering. So thank you, Lisa. But the winner is Dino Rotundo. Make sure you send me your Venmo.
If you like Dino Rotundo.
It's good stuff. Kai is busy watching Fauci right now. So
Fauci. Well, you have to hear someone that actually knows what they're talking about on occasion.
Once in a while. That might be limited coming up soon. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
Bad for the economy, Chad. Don't be truthing over there.
All right, Troy boy. It's time for the beer edition part of our episode. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that question off, and you're going to tell us what the beer of the day is, Troyer.
That's right. Sponsored by Be the Change. Remember, everybody, the beer of the day is a local beer again in Oregon. This is from Hood River, Oregon, a fantastic town right along the Columbia. And it's called Freem, even though there's a silent P in the name. It's called Freem. They're really known for their IPAs, but because we've been drinking more than normal in quarantine, you can't always go with an 8% ABV beer. So I'm recommending the Pilsner from Freem. Check it out. It's delicious.
So are you currently still on the wagon, or are you off the wagon right now?
I will be leaving the wagon in about 2 hours.
Got it. So were you put on self-restriction, or was there a second voice that caused you to say maybe you've been drinking a tad too much?
No, it was all me. Well, it was a second voice. It was not my wife. She's encouraging it. It was the scale I stepped on and hit what I will only say is maximum density. I hit a scale number I had never seen before, and that prompted me to say, let's lay off the beer for 5 days, which I just did.
I can tell you what that number is about and a few above it if you need the chat.
Did you hit 200?
No, just shy. 198.
Oh, holy nugget.
Yeah, that was max for me, 198. So I got to get back to 188.
But you're tall, dude. You're tall, so it's not a big deal.
I am. I'm 6'6", but still, it's the approach of the 200 that gets people's attention. Or it got my attention. What are we laughing about? It got my attention
You're
anyway.
6'6" in some of Kenny's high heels that he's got in his closet. Maybe.
Hey, whatever it
I
takes.
might not have any more. You might catch me on that. Oh, there's another category: men in drag movies.
There
you go.
You got
Some
Bird
Like It
Cage.
Hot, Priscilla, Queen of the. We got a whole thing.
Yeah. All right, Ken. Now we got
You wanna see it?
the
There it is.
holy
That's the picture of the scale.
Wow. Good job, Sawyer.
That's close.
It's a lot of biscuits and gravy. KP, what are you drinking over there as part of our drink of the day?
Well, I don't have the same thing Matt has, but I decided to share with a beer because having booze at 4:00 every afternoon to the show has been digging in. So I poured myself a Rail Splitter IPA from Triton Brewery in Indianapolis. Fantastic bunch of guys making a great beer down in Northeast Indianapolis. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So good.
Cheers to all of you out there.
Cheers, mate.
I
Right
did
on.
have a quarantine
You feel
growth.
the glass?
Yes. I grew
Absolutely.
4 inches.
We have a quick question from Kelly.
4 inches. That's how tall I grew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He added an extra 4 inches, which is what Kelly wanted Anthony to add.
Extra 4. Oh,
I'm glad you took advantage of it because I was going to also. So
Oh,
well,
come on.
if you could supply it, so would she.
yeah.
Never gonna give you one.
Okay. Let's see. Troyer, what have you been watching? First of all.
Oh, we just finished Succession, and now I can't wait for season 3. Apparently, it's coming out this fall. But what a dishy, delicious inside scoop of really rich people. I recommend it. It's fun to watch them fight. And then when we ran out of that last night, we said, what can we do that's a little more lighthearted? And Barry. If you haven't watched this and you're in the acting world, as many of us are in this little game, watch it. It is so dynamite. It takes a hitman, moves him to Hollywood, and he wants to become an actor. And Kenny, your favorite, the Fonz, Henry Winkler, just is dynamite in this show.
Grew up loving Henry, saw him on Broadway, and he is turning in a performance of a career.
Yeah, it's great.
Bill Hader was one of my favorites on SNL ever. So, like, if you weren't a Bill Hader fan before, you will be because of Barry. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of SNL, did anybody watch the SNL live?
No, I didn't see it. They did it from their homes, right?
Yeah, it was different. There was some good. There was some bad. The number one that I think is getting the best reviews, and I thought was also the funniest, was the Zoom. They did a Zoom parody of like an office Zoom, and it was like you had the two women on there, you know, the Karen or whatever. Like, is this what we're supposed to do?
That's awesome.
You had one of the women go to the bathroom, like, no, don't do that. So that was funny. The Weekend Update was awkward as all hell, and I think his first name's Michael, but he had a bit where he finally like admitted, he goes, "This is really awkward without having an audience," and that's where I start to go, exactly. That's what radio personalities have to do every day of their life. So it was separating who actually had talent on that show from who didn't.
I have a suggestion for a topic for our show.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live stars that went on to be movie stars. So
Okay.
like there's, because there are so many of them, but you know, it's still kind of, it's not that large of a world. It's I think there's going to be some strong ones in that group.
I like it.
I like it. With that, Troyer, let's go ahead and go to your. Is there anything else you've been watching? Do we miss anything?
No, those are the two big ones.
All right, let's go to your top movies, my friend.
All right. Well, I think I'll keep it short and sweet because these are going to come up in other places, and we've already heard about Saving Private Ryan. I put that one on because, you know, I think some of the movies that were the John Wayne movies and those kind of cowboys turned into war movies were the older movies, and it was what Kenny said. The Americans were always the good guys, and the foreigners were always the bad guys. It was just too simple. It was like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. But the modern movies have gotten really powerful, and Saving Private Ryan is one of those, and really it's for the scene going into Normandy. So Storming the Beaches really felt like you were there on the beach with them. And it was, I don't remember how long the scene is, but 20 minutes of just like kind of sheer terror and sitting in the theater feeling like you actually were there. So that's why I put that on the list. Deer Hunter is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen this, it's set during the Vietnam War and then the fallout after. But it is probably De Niro, I mean, other than Raging Bull and maybe the Godfather movies, probably De Niro's best work. He is dynamite in this film. Christopher Walken, who I'm sure Chad can grace us with some impressions shortly, but he was dynamite. Meryl Streep is in this picture, and her boyfriend at the time, John Cazale. It was his last film. So if you remember, I Know It Was You, Sonny, like Sonny from the Godfather movies and Dog Day Afternoon. This is a dynamite actor who really hit the 70s with Pacino at the same time, but died of cancer right after this film wrapped. And it's a sad story, but he's a dynamite actor. The whole movie is great. Check out Deer Hunter. And finally, number one, Apocalypse Now. This film came out in late 70s, 79, I think. Was kind of well received, but not great. It had lukewarm reception and then cut to 10, 20, 30 years later. And it's on most critics' list of one of the top 10 movies, regardless of war movies, ever. It takes Heart of Darkness from a late 1800s Joseph Conrad novel and brings it into Vietnam with heavy hitters like Marlon Brando and Martin Sheen, which is also why Platoon was so good, seeing Charlie, however many years later, sort of following in Martin's footsteps. It's a stunning movie. It's a slow burn, but it is dynamite. And Brando showed up unprepared and overweight, and so they found ways to shoot around it. But it's a creepy, cool, amazing movie.
We have to do the same on the show.
Interrupted the director. People's lives were almost ruined. Amazing.
Yeah. Say that again, Anthony.
I was going to say the shooting around Brando is what we do for KP every episode. We have to do that.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
whatever.
I love that you, Maddie. I love that you shouted out the father-son combo there, with Platoon being on a lot of our lists, with Charlie Sheen, and then of course with Martin Sheen. God, I mean that's pretty impressive for them both to be in such critically acclaimed war movies. So yeah they both did a hell of a job.
And then Emilio has that great Garbage Man movie. So, I mean, that's really wrap up.
Minute work, and it's a great film, buddy.
And Repo Man.
And Mighty Ducks, too. Oh, wait, are we talking about the same one?
He's good. That was a joke.
Emilio!
Yeah. Great choices, Troyer. Fantastic. I want to throw up Aaron's list. And people, if you want, go ahead and put your movies, and we'll go ahead and comment on what you guys have. So put that in the chat box, put it in the comments. We'll see if we agree, disagree. Which war movies, there's really not the way you can go wrong. Throckmorton, top 4 war movies: American Sniper, Lone Survivor, Tora Tora.
Oh.
I've never seen Tora Tora.
Oh, no. Great.
It's great. Okay. And Flags of Our Fathers. I've seen that one as well. So, and also I believe as though Aaron is actually pretty decent friends with the Kyle family. So that's a shout out to them as well. That is Dallas based, obviously. So that's cool. Thank you, Aaron. Everybody, please put your top movies in the list. I think we could do another trivia question coming up. Kelly just wants to compliment Mr. Kenneth Paul. KP is looking slim and trim. Let the man.
And the salute. He even
check
gave
it
a
in the
salute.
mail, lovely girl.
That is fantastic. I love it.
Okay. All right. Let's do one more trivia. So here's the deal, guys. Go ahead and make sure you're watching on the Facebook Live version of this. Go to the Work From Home Network page if you are on a watch party. It's time for $5 trivia from hashtag Be The Change. Who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the fastest to give and get the money? And as a reminder, like I'm saying, you cannot give it back to hashtag Be The Change. You have to do something with it, whatever that might be. You can find it. So let's go with Chad. Let's go ahead and go with your next one. Are you okay with that?
You know it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw it up. I'll throw it up on the screen so you people can also get a visual at the same time. First person to comment what movie this is from is going to be the winner, and Chad's going to go ahead and say the line.
He better be worth it. He better go home and cure a disease or invent a longer-lasting light bulb.
Who is it? Who is it? Not who.
It should narrow it down with Mr. Tom Hanks. Should narrow it down just a skosh.
Yep. Let's see. Somebody's really fast. SPR. Are we gonna count the acronym?
Wow.
You have to.
That makes me work.
Pretty good. That's
I don't
pretty
like
good.
thinking.
See, he was smart. He knew it's a long movie, and he'd have to sneak it in. And Throckmorton
That's the win.
filled out the whole thing. David Hatfield behind. So
that's going to be a tough one, though, with people coming in just a hair behind him. That's your call, Mr. Be The Change.
Oh no, he was smart about it. He was tactical, should we say? In
What?
That. So we're going to go ahead and say Michael Smith is the winner of that one, and Kai just a fauch behind.
A fauch.
That's a creative win. That is a creative win.
Yep, Michael.
Nice job, Michael.
Michael Smith, you are getting a $5 Venmo. I think you have won before, so I should be able to find it. Congratulations. You are the winner of that $5, courtesy of #BeTheChange. Kai, just a hair too late behind David. Let's see. Michael had a reason how he did it. Yep, big-time strategy, my friend. Abbreviations for the win. Totes. Nothing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, that was a tactical win, a tactical response, and it was well played.
Morse code or acronyms. You got to use one of the two. Nice job.
Mm-hmm. And Kai agrees. It was tactical for the win. All right. So while you guys are just hanging out with us, making fools of ourselves, please be sure to put what movies are your favorite in the comment box, so we can obviously throw them up there as well. Because again, the classic war and great war movies are very, very deep and wide. So go ahead, Chad. What have you been watching?
I have been watching Apocalypse Now. You saw that one at the top of Mr. Troyer's list there. I had never seen this one until last night, and I have some thoughts. Apocalypse Now is like the Trump presidency. It's long, weird, and upsetting. U.S. involvement in Vietnam lasted 15 years, so it was almost as long as this film. But seriously, there's an extended cut that's over 3 hours. No, thank you. I already need therapy. I didn't even need to go to war, and I already have PTSD.
Yep.
I'm not done yet. Stick with me, guys.
Keep going.
You know, Apocalypse Now is weird when Dennis Hopper is the most normal thing about the movie. Robert Duvall got an Oscar nomination for being in the movie for like 2 minutes. Anthony's like, hey, 2 minutes is a long time.
Kelly just laughed in the background. I don't know.
Yes.
But in her defense, or in my defense, she's 20 seconds behind right now. So.
Still not that impressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
So 2 minutes and 20 seconds then. Bam!
Anyways.
So that was it. That was I wrote some jokes about Apocalypse Now. Here's the thing. Now, based on those jokes, you'd think that I didn't like it, but it did need to have its chops busted a bit. It was a little long, 2.5 hours, but the cast is sensational. I gave a little shout out to Dennis Hopper. He actually, for me, because everybody was playing different levels of we'll just say PTSD, and they've been affected deeply by what's going on. And after having seen that film, because it is raw, it is gritty, it felt like you were fully immersed in Vietnam. Having not been there, I can't speak intelligently about that, but obviously some of our viewers probably can. But it was a fantastic film, and I really enjoyed Dennis Hopper in it. Martin Sheen did a great job. Anytime you see Dennis Hopper, though, he is always so checked in to that character. And a lot of the times he is playing something kind of goofy, but you buy him in that role no matter what it is. So
that's number 5, right?
That's my number 5. I won't spend a lot of time on the other ones because we got into several of them already. But we haven't given a shout out to Glory, Mr. Denzel Washington with the Oscar win on that. And Matthew Broderick in the film as well. But I mean, this was Denzel. This was all about Denzel. And, for me, that's one of my criteria. If it's got strong characters, strong cast, and it's telling a good story, then chances are I'm going to dig it.
I forgot about that war. That was smart, Chad.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, Glory is one. I haven't seen it in a while, but it had to be on my list just based off of I'm a big Denzel fan. This was one of his Oscar roles. So, yeah, that one deserves to be on the list, in my opinion. Obviously, I put more picks up than some of you boys did, so I had a little extra wiggle room there. Platoon, you guys have mentioned, fantastic. Charlie Sheen in that. Willem Dafoe, the rest of the cast, was pretty fantastic as well. Tom Berenger in that film. Yes, Tom Berenger. Yes. And then the top 2, Saving Private Ryan, already talked about. Don't need to get into that one again. But, yeah, hell of a cast. Tom Hanks, I'll watch him do anything. My number 1, it didn't make it on anybody else's list, I don't think, unless it's on Mr. Russo's, and he hadn't done his yet. But no, he's going no. Listen, Full Metal Jacket, my friends, because of 2 actors specifically. Modine was fine. but we're not talking about him. Arlie Ermy in that supporting role because he used to be in the military. I'm pretty sure, Kenny, back me up on this. He used to be a drill sergeant in the military.
Yeah, he spent most of his entire career he did full service, the full 20, I believe, in the military, became an actor later because somebody said, we need somebody like you. Why don't you just do it?
Yeah.
Yep. And Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't know how this dude doesn't have more awards sitting up on his wall. I think he's got a few, but he probably deserved some sort of Oscar, at least nomination for this in a supporting role. That dude, we talked about commitment a minute ago with Dennis Hopper. Vincent D'Onofrio, I mean, he will leave you shook at the end of this because he loses it in the best kind of way. You see it happen because he starts out really trying hard, and then Arlie Ermey's character just breaks him all the way down. And so that dynamic between those two characters is really why I put this at the top of my list.
Fantastic. Well, your reviews, sir, were intelligent, well thought out, and about as long as the movie Apocalypse Now. So
I disagree, but okay.
And I'm gonna tag a tail on the end of that. Last night, I forgot to tell you what I was watching. I went back and did Sands of Iwo Jima last night to get one more John Wayne in. And it's funny, one of the reviews actually said Sands of Iwo Jima at its time was the Full Metal Jacket of the mid-60s because it's, again, about that hard as nails Marine drill sergeant that makes everybody want to beat him. And they find out he's preparing you for nothing that you can prepare for, which is war. That's why your sergeants have to make you that tough because there are no rules and there's no I need a break when you're ready to go to service. So it's great. Yeah. Full Metal Jacket. Amazing, Chad. Great choice.
It's very difficult with Ken because he always has great things to say, but everything he says could be spun into something slightly off color, like hard as nails, and then they want to beat him. And it's just so hard to not just take a left turn on everything he says.
I throw out the easy ones. That's what I do.
Yeah, the low-hanging fruit is what Anthony's looking for because he suffers from low intelligence. Now, speaking of Anthony, do you have 1917 on your list? Because we've all been pumping up 1917, but nobody's had it on their list so far.
So I am going to first, before you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just go into my list. That's fine. I have
what a fantastic segue.
Yeah, it is a fantastic because I don't want to miss a good segue. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that were not included on my list that 1917 was probably some of the best cinematography. Here's the difficulty with war movies. War movies, for the most part, it's almost unfair, and you really have to look back at the platoons and then going back even further because the realism of modern movies makes them a little bit more gritty and realistic. So it's hard to compare the 1980s and 70s to the modern movies because they're so well done and it feels like you're actually there. Kind of like starting with the Saving Private Ryan era, that was the beginning of that kind of movie. So 1917, just for the cinematography aspect of it, makes it hard to not include, but I did not include it. I wanted to include Platoon as well because of how fantastic of a movie that is. But I'm going to go ahead and throw my list up, which has a lot of curveballs in there.
Okay.
So
Ooh, nice.
I went. There's a lot that aren't duplicated. I feel like some of you guys might have forgot my number one as a war movie, but American Sniper. I went back and forth with the movie that I watched last night, which was Lone Survivor. I went back and forth between the two. Lone Survivor, obviously, being the Marcus Luttrell story. Such intense realism that could not have been done several years before. Obviously, that kind of that cinematography, that kind of film just couldn't have been done. So obviously, shout out. I do have some friends that were part of Operation Red Wings as well. And that was the people that followed them in were part of the whole mission. So that movie was fantastic, but I had to go with American Sniper because of the way that it actually felt to me. I saw it in a theater in Dallas, Texas. And of course, that was his hometown, and a lot of people knew him. The funeral, the procession, people were there the day that the drive where they drove his body through town, and that just absolutely intense feeling in the theater is why that was so great. There was definitely some movie flaws in that movie, and its cinematic flaws and acting flaws, but from the sense that a movie gave me, that's why that one is on the list. That's probably
you can't take away how it made you feel. Like that, it made you feel a certain way, which is why nobody can fight that. It was still a good film. It was still a solid film. Yeah,
right, exactly. So then the next one I have is War Horse, which I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's not seen quite as much. War Horse is a great movie about World War I. There was a boy by the name of Albert that had this horse. It was sold away to the cavalry, unfortunately for him. And the whole movie is essentially him now joining the military and somehow crossing paths again with this horse. This is a fantastic and very underrated film. Now,
I saved that for my comedy list.
War Horse?
Yeah.
No.
Chad, you're gonna let Calvary go, huh? You two with the pronunciation war, and you're gonna let that one go.
Cavalry.
That sounded a little better.
Say it again.
Came out Calvary the first time as opposed to cavalry.
Cavalry.
Oh yeah. Oh, did he go with did he add an L in? Is that what happened?
Cavalry. The consonants were in the wrong order. You two usually jump all over that stuff. I can't believe
he said it fast enough to where I couldn't pick it up.
That's what I do. Super quick. The one movie that I thought I was going to have on my list that I did not, and I rewatched it this last week, was Tigerland. I didn't think it fell into the category because it was all about the Tigerland was all about the town, or I'm sorry, the city of Fort. What is it called? Fort something in Alabama. Anyways, it was actually going to war, so I didn't count it. So even though it's a great movie, I thought it was Colin Farrell, one of his first major roles, and it was fantastic. Not included. So that's another shout out. But
boot camp movies. There's the whole category. There's 40 of those.
There you go.
Yeah, boot camp movies.
Mine, I was able to slide in Full Metal Jacket because you guys probably know that one was like a halvesy. It was a half and half kind of thing. So yeah, but I thought
they never went away to war. That's the problem. What's that, Matt?
No. I wanted to switch boxes, so now I'm on the box that Matt Miller's used to seeing us on. So you're welcome, Matt. I did that for you, buddy.
He's now having to take medication because of that problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, Hacksaw Ridge I thought was going to be my number one, and I thought that was going to be a sleeper. I rewatched the first half of that, and I know how great the second half is, but the first half, in fact, was not quite as good as a great movie could be. So the first half took away from me being able to keep it as my top movies. Matt's wife is beckoning him.
I gotta close the door. No, I was too loud.
Okay. All right.
Did you shout out to Inglourious Bastards? Because Kelly McComb gave a little shout out to Inglourious Bastards.
No, I will. We're going to go ahead and give a shout out to all the ones we missed, which is numerous. And I'm going to wrap it up. Saving Private Ryan. Good Morning Vietnam is proof that comedic actors can act, whereas sometimes straight actors cannot necessarily do comedy. And that is, to me, the greatest war movie of all time, and it is a little bit of a curveball because there are some epics that were greater. So those are my top 5 movies.
I thought there was enough comedy in that one to put it on a war comedy list. Do you disagree with that?
It's tough. It falls in both.
Okay.
There's a lot.
I think you can do both. I think you can absolutely do both. I was saving it for another list.
But now Anthony can't use it when we do comedies.
No, he can't.
I can't use it in both.
No. New rule. You're not allowed to use that again. Sorry.
That makes sense.
Let's see.
Does everybody have like 10 or 12 that they had a hard time not using? Because as we sign off, we can speedball our honorable mentions because we all have a huge list in our hands, I think.
Right. So
Memphis Belle was fantastic.
Dino mentioned Hacksaw Ridge. Talked with him. He didn't think it was so classic though. Let's see. David Heckman, also previous military. Thank you for your service, Heck. American Sniper, Black Hawk Down. We forgot to mention that one. I didn't love that one personally, but let's see. Full Metal Jacket, Platoon, 13 Hours. I actually do know one of the characters or one of the real life characters from that movie.
Nice.
Yeah, and that one's a pretty gritty, realistic film. Also incredibly realistic of one of the war times. Let's see what else we got. No one had. Kelly wants a shout out for The Patriot and Inglourious Bastards. Patriot starts to lean period piece, but yes, it does count because it is.
And we've got that category coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stripes.
Yeah, that comes on
war comedies.
Yes.
War comedies are on the way. That will be on a list. I guarantee it. I don't know whose.
And Michael had a very valid point. Michael Smith said Schindler's List has to be on there. I think that is one of the greatest films ever made. It's so incredibly unwatchable to me, though, that it is hard. It's just so I can't include it because based on Chad's criteria.
Oh, I was just getting ready to say, it sounds like you're incorporating someone who's really smart's criteria.
Well, I mean, but when they're made and they're telling a real story, you can't go wrong telling a story about people surviving in the worst case scenarios of all time. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all got these lists. And it was hard to cut it down, really hard.
Well, and I think, too, you guys hit on sort of like how do you define a war movie? Traditionally, you think war movie, you're on the battlefield. There's soldiers doing things. And so then you go, okay, well, what do we do with these other pictures, like a Schindler's List, like The Pianist, any of these Holocaust movies? You're like, yeah, that's during a war, but it's not on the battlefield. So then you're like, we'll put it in another category.
What's the
Anthony? That's something that you play. It's a musical instrument. It's not the thing that's hanging between your legs.
The group of Brits that did all the decoding. What's that film? That was fantastic too. What wasn't Cumberbatch in that?
Oh, The Imitation Game. No,
right. I mean, they're all war movies, but yeah, we had we'll do different categories.
I will tell you that I am a definite Cumber bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I wish? I wish we didn't have any war movies to watch.
No, right. You bring up a fantastic point. But back to the real world, we do.
Except Star Wars, right?
Well, sure. That we can keep that. I'm good with that.
I love that Troy looked over at you. That was great. He's like, good.
I know who he is. He's good looking.
And if I go to look at you, I go the wrong way.
Troy, can you help Ken out? Ken, you got a little something on your cheek. Matt's gonna go ahead and wipe it off for you. You got to get a little closer. Oh, the other way. There it is.
There you
go. Got it.
That was awkward.
I always wonder why Ken is sitting side saddle, because he's always got this one going down, like he's facing this way, and someone just called his name, and he's like, "I'm sorry, what'd you say?" Hey guys.
Well, straight on is not an interesting dimension. You got to move. I move. You notice I start straight on, and then I move to different positions.
I also noticed that you did blue steel a minute ago. I caught you doing blue steel.
Yep.
Swear to God.
Sweet heavens, Betsy. Okay. With that said, it's time to give away some more money. First off, this is the hashtag Be the Change moment. I do want to give a shout out. We had somebody on our Power Hour Live earlier. Her name was at Tiffany D. Owen. She's been making face masks for first responders. She had zero ties to first responders or the medical profession whatsoever.
Yes.
But like we could all do at this point, John Stenberg's wife, for example, is doing the same thing, making face masks. We all can take it upon ourselves to find something to do while we are going through whatever this is that we're going through. And we can all make a difference. We can all be the change we wish to see in the world. So that is our Be the Change moment of the day. So I don't know why I did it twice. Just felt like it was the right thing.
Nope.
Nice.
So with that said, we are going to be giving away a little bit more money, either one or two. We're going to see how the response is on this one.
Utah. Give me two.
We're doing two? All right, we're doing two. All right, play along with trivia. Comment your answer below to win $5 on Venmo. Hashtag Be the Change. So the first person, if you're watching on a watch party, come on over to the Work From Home Network's TV page. Let's see where we are going with the next quote. First person to name. Actually, this is not a quote. This is a trivia question. First person to answer this is the winner. Ready? And name the movie where Catherine Bigelow won the first female director to win an Academy Award. What was the film?
Michael Smith named Point Break, but I think that was from the Johnny Utah quote.
Yeah.
Yes. No, he did. Yes, that was from
Great
before.
job, Michael.
Point Break. Didn't need to be remade, by the way. Did not need to be remade.
Hey, if there's any NHL fans or game show fans out there, Michael Smith is hosting a live game show with mascots. They're doing Hollywood Squares versions. Will freaking Wheaton was his first contestant.
Wow.
Along with one of the MMA guys, so I can't remember his name. But anyway, check Michael's page out, and you can watch it on his Facebook page. It's really fun.
I saw that. That's awesome. That's fun. Michael Smith.
Kai! Boom.
Did she sneak one in? I haven't got it yet, so we're going to go ahead and once it comes up.
Right below Michael.
All right.
Hurt Locker. Kai.
Hurt
She's
Locker
been waiting.
is correct.
She's been hunting. She's been hunting down these answers. She's been right there at it. So well done, Kai. Killing it.
Venmo Kai. I still don't see it, so I can't put it up, unfortunately.
That's weird.
I would love
Can you see it, Chad?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
No.
So.
Counts in my book. If you guys say it counts in my book. So she is the winner of our fourth Venmo. which leaves us with one more to go. Before that, what are we planning on watching between now and the next episode on Wednesday?
What did we choose?
Oh, well, we're doing action movies, so that's what we're doing. But what are we gonna? Are we gonna watch action? Chad, go ahead.
I have to do homework.
Now, but it's a discuss, right? It totally is. Either way, we have to do homework. But the question to you gentlemen is, do we need to split it into action and adventure and make them two separate categories, or are we combining?
Yes. So, let's say Die Hard and Indiana Jones can't be in the same day.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
That makes sense. No, because one's an action, one's an adventure. I get it.
Okay, action. So we're doing action.
Okay.
We're doing action, so we're taking out all the periods, somewhere else, adventure-y, 40s, all that stuff.
And if you guys want to kind of split it up a little bit further, we could do something like 80s action movies. What?
The audience should vote.
Yeah,
I think they should.
You go ahead and tell me what they say, because I'm not getting the comments anymore. So
no, you're not.
Let me know what they do.
I will. I shall.
All right. So we've got action movies. We haven't decided the exact comment. There has to be one Arnold movie requirement. I saw that's the only thing I've seen in the last couple minutes. So here we go.
I have your answer, by the way.
What is it?
Oh, if it's in the 80s, I can think of a couple that might be on my list. Go ahead.
I have your George C. Scott answer.
Oh, thank you. I almost forgot about that. So
Patton, here's your trivia, which I did not know. George C. Scott was the first actor to turn down an Oscar award. It was 1970. Nobody had ever done it before. And he said, out of principle, an Oscar should not be given to a single person. Anybody's dramatic performance is individual and should not be compared to others. So it wasn't for political or war reasons or to give to the troops. He said, everybody does their own work. It shouldn't be compared. And thank you.
Wow. Interesting. I like that.
That's fun. Aaron just put up a really good question. Okay.
Yep. I saw it. What war movie characters would best describe each of you?
This is a toughie.
I'm going to go with, I'll pick for Chad. I'm going to go with Simple Jack.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That was good. That was solid. That was really, really good.
I like that we're all going to reference Tropic
Thunder. Full time.
That was solid. Well done.
Well, KP, then you also have to be a Tropic Thunder character.
All right.
You would have to be
He's Jack Black. He's Jack Black.
No, I was actually thinking. I was thinking the black dude that was having some life confusions. You know,
the real black dude.
Yeah, the real black dude, not the black dude playing the other black dude.
What was his character's name? It was something like it was Al Pacino.
Yeah,
his name was Al Pacino.
We got Ken as Forrest Gump.
Noise.
Anybody? What Troyer's got to be somebody.
I gotta pay.
I'm gonna be.
Oh my god.
We'll have to think of Troyer.
He's a tough one. He's got to be kind of like a higher ranking. Who does he remind me of?
Well, who's 6'6" in a war movie?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
You know,
we don't have guys at my height in war. It's tough.
No.
Well, I can't be a sailor.
You're
You have to
certainly
be
not
shorter to be a
not
sailor.
allowed in the submarine.
He's Dolph
I'm not.
Lundgren in Universal Soldier.
Ooh.
I'm the swarthy Darth Long.
He could actually be Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan because I feel like he's got the right acting chops, and I feel like he runs really awkwardly. So,
or Liam Neeson in Next of Kin. That was a war with Kentucky versus Chicago.
Yeah, you can do Robin. You got the voice, so you could do Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam.
Who are we talking?
I'm not as funny as you.
No, not you, Anthony. No.
Oh, fine.
Well, he would be funny though, and he's a radio DJ.
Somebody's got to name me, and then we're going to our last question.
All right, we'll get it.
Like we got to make him an Italian, like a Vinny Boombots type character, and he's Saving Private Ryan or something.
DiMaggio, and From Here to Eternity. You can do Sinatra's role again.
Oh yeah,
Mario.
Forget about it.
Hey, forget about it.
All right, final question. First person to put it in the box, Aaron.
It won't be me.
Aaron's got it.
Straight up Tropic Thunder, baby.
Fantastic save there. All right, so here is the final question. First person to put it in the comment box is winning $5 courtesy of #BeTheChange. And here is the final question. Ken, do you want to read it for me?
I'll read it. I can see it. What is the first film where Meryl Streep was nominated for her first Oscar?
It is a war movie. It is a war movie.
War movie. First nomination ever for Miss Meryl, who's been racking them up like a vacuum cleaner.
Devil Wears Prada.
No, Fashion War.
I've seen it 8 times. I'll have to admit that, but that's not.
Whoa. No,
it.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd admit to 8.
Well,
Joe,
Meryl
I won't
Streep
admit it.
movies as
Anthony will
its own
make it up.
category.
You could, Miss Meryl. So
Yeah.
somebody else is going to have to help me out.
And it was on a list. It was on one of our lists.
It was one of our lists. It was, I think it was on, to give a hint, I think it was on Troyer's list, correct?
It was. But my God, I never thought of this. Sophie's Choice could almost be a war movie.
Heckman's in the house. Heckman has the correct answer.
Heckman!
Yes.
Nice job.
Well done.
No one's
What
mentioned
the
Voight
heck?
in that either. Voight in that film. That film is star-studded.
Yep. Speaking of Voight, I did just watch another episode of, what is it called? What the hell? I'm drawing blanks on everything today. Ray Donovan.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's dad. He's Ray's dad, isn't he?
Yeah, the final
Yeah.
season's getting a little freaking weirder than even the rest. So
I think he's been batshit his whole life, but I love him as an actor. I think he's nuts.
apparently
Nuts.
daughter's not a fan of him either. All right, so that has been our
But she's fine. She's stable.
yep. Billy Bob Thornton's blood on a vial on her neck. All right, with all that said, this was a fun episode, even though we had a very serious topic of war movies. We are doing action. Did anybody see anybody vote on what kind of action movies?
I didn't see it, dude.
All right, so we'll discuss it on our own, what kind of action movies we're going to do after this. But in the meantime, remember to be the change you wish to see in the world. Any parting comments from Troyer?
Let's drink some beer now that we don't weigh 200 pounds.
Fantastic.
Hey, how about that? And then we read off our mentions as we roll off the screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Read off
afterwards.
AP.
Bridge on the River Kwai. Patton, From Here to Eternity. Lawrence of Arabia. Stalag. Comedies. I'll shut that up. I got war comedies less. That's my honorable mentioned list.
Like it.
I'm going with Memphis Belle. A little shout out to Memphis Belle. That was a solid war flick. And we're giving lots of shout outs to military, to our first responders and medical professionals, but we haven't given a shout out. There was a really cool story on the news the other day about our cleaning service people, janitors and stuff like that. Really help. They're putting their lives in danger and helping keep us safe out there. So shout out to those guys too.
Yes, sir. Well, and congratulations to all of our winners. Remember, with that $5, you don't get to give it back. You got to figure out who you're going to surprise and delight with that $5. You're going to be spreading the love and spreading whatever it is. Or you can keep the $5 and buy yourself lunch. I don't care. But you have to keep it. That is the rule. So remember to be positive, be kind to the people around you. Keep spreading love and stay positive in this time where we are all quarantined. Ken is always wearing something great to wear. Matt has got his wristband ready. And Chad is rocking blue plaid on a military episode. And
This is my Sunday best, baby.
Spread your love from a
It's for
distance.
Easter
by the
shirt.
way. Spread your love from a distance.
Oh, like this? Is this?
No.
Is this what you're asking for? Are you doing? You want? Is this what's going on?
I'm asking. Tan
Is
that.
I thought that you said spread it. You said to spread it.
I can see your veins get out in the sun.
Whoa, that was low.
Ooh,
That was
vampire movies. We got to do vampire movies too.
Oh, cool. I was the inspiration for that comment.
We can see through Chad.
Oh, that's so nice.
oh, God.
You guys are my favorite buddies.
And that's a wrap on Biscuits and Gravy War Movie Edition. Thank you to Lieutenant Troyer and Rear Admiral Smitty.
War